your emotions and how this game played out in your mind?
Well, it was two good hockey teams playing hockey. When Timo missed the empty net to make it 3-1, I thought, and I said that this might come back to haunt us. But I said this morning they're going to give me everything they had. They gave me everything they had.
What will you take from this series, and what do you want your young team to take from this series?
How hard it is. Give Rod and his team a lot of credit. They played a heck of a series. They got a real good taste of what playoff hockey's like, the ups and downs. I think a little bit of our inconsistency, we're losing the first couple of games in both series hurt us. You'd like to take that as a lesson going forward.
Lindy, was Jack physically okay tonight?
First of all, I didn't think – I'm going to give him a lot of credit. I didn't think he was even going to play tonight. And for him to put the skates on and play just says a lot about his character and the fact he didn't want to be out of the lineup tonight.
Can Shanae later what the injury is? Not the season's over.
I'll just say right now, you'll get details later, but it was an upper body injury.
Lindy, what can you say about Akira and what he was able to do not only tonight but this whole postseason, just his rise to fame?
Well, again, just a young man with no playoff experience that just helped us win hockey games. He made several big saves there. It was a pretty tough game tonight again, both ways. Not a lot of great chances. Both teams missed a couple great opportunities. Both goalies made, even if you look at the saves Anderson made on Plot, there were a couple big saves at that moment. But Akira, we gave up an opportunity. I think it was late in the second after we scored, and just to hold composure and make some of the saves he did for a guy that has, no NHL playoff experience. Just got to give the young man a lot of credit.
Even though the result is not there, would you say that this is probably the smartest game your team played in the series?
If you take out the shorthanded stuff in Game 3, I thought we played really smart. We played really tough. That was probably the best game we played, but take out those mistakes. I thought Game 2 was like this game, except we lost patience at the end of the second period. Again, it's dealing with momentum inside of a game. I thought the full 60 minutes was very similar to Game 3, except we didn't finish some of the opportunities that, if you get up by 2, I think it takes that team a little bit out of their game. They got to put a little bit more risk. But when you're only down by 1, you're just looking for that opportunity to get back in the game.
Lindy, how big was that Burns goal in the final minute there? And after that goal, what did you kind of sense on the bench? Was there still, let's get going even after this?
No, I told the team, we can't let things bother you. I didn't like our execution on that. Goals at the start of periods and goals at the end of periods are, they're momentum creators, or it demoralizes the other team. I thought our guys shook it off, came out to play. I thought start of the second, it was kind of their period. The last 10, 12 minutes of the second, I thought we had them on the ropes, but didn't take advantage. So tough goal to give up at that time.
Is this a loss that you feel the team can let sit a little bit throughout the course of the summer, and maybe next year it'll be kind of somewhat of a little bit of a momentum or a boost for them, knowing that this is how it ended?
It's a tough one to answer. We played a hard hockey game. Like I said, it was two good teams. You get a bounce one way or the other, puck goes over the glass. That's the second time in this building I've lost a playoff series with a puck over the glass.
Lindy, I know,
I know this is a hard.
I'm gonna actually ask him to make the glass a little bit taller.
This is another hard one right after the season ends. But when you look back on this season, will you be proud of what this team accomplished, given where you started?
I told him after the game, proud of the task we had in front of us and how we executed and where we got to. It's hard because, we had a real good meeting. We talked about, the details of the game that we needed going into tonight. And we got that. And I said that this morning, that anything I've asked for, whether it was yesterday's meeting, this morning's meeting, the execution of that was good. And I think a lot of guys gained a lot of experience and realize now, wow, playoffs is a different beast. Hard to get there, even harder to move on. So, you've got to be firing in all cylinders. And, just like I mentioned, the little bit of the inconsistency and drop in the first two games, it's tough to rebound. We did in the first series, and we were trying to do it in the second one.
Lindy, what's the message, I guess, to the fan base about the future of this team?
Future's bright. You look at Hughes' game tonight again. For him to play as well as he did in a game that meant so much. His skating, the way he moved the puck. You look at the year that our top players, from Nico to Jack to Brad to you can go down the line. A lot of guys had, you can't live in that. I mean, you can't live in that moment because next year it'll be extremely tough again because you won't surprise anybody. You won't be this team that only had 57 points or whatever it is. They'll go, we're playing a good hockey club, and it'll just get harder.
Lindy, we know what Dougie did for you this season. The Hurricanes are obviously familiar with him. Did they do something to minimize his impact in this series?
I think they did a good job in shot lanes against him. He had a couple looks. And I think they understand that he's got a great shot. So if you're looking at the shooting standpoint, I thought, the number of opportunities he got was limited. So yeah, they did a good job. They did their homework. They knew what he had done for us, and they know, seeing he played here, that what he can bring offensively and when he gets an opportunity. So I think he got some special attention.
Lindy, what was your impression of Luke tonight playing with John Marino, the work of those two guys together?
Again, I can't say enough about, a 19-year-old playing in a game like this where, 4 or 5 games experience, and the upside is definitely there. I think he understands in rush fashion what the game is all about, and he was playing with against some pretty big men and a really hard competing team. So I like the pair. I like the way he played.
Lindy, what do you say to a guy like Jonas? He had an outstanding season, but to have it end like that for him?
Well, there's not much you can say. I mean, he feels the pain, like we all do. We said all year long we'll win as a group, we'll lose as a group, and it's a tough break, a tough situation. But when you look back at the year he had, he's got to be happy with where he got himself to.